In the year 1204, a Christian army stood outside the walls of the greatest Christian city in the world. The soldiers wore crosses on their clothes. They prayed before battle. They believed they were fighting for God. And the city in front of them was Constantinople. Not a Muslim city, not a pagan city, but the capital of the Christian Roman Empire itself. This army was never supposed to be here. They had not come to fight this city. They had not come to attack fellow Christians. They had not even planned to see Constantinople at all. Something had gone terribly wrong, because within days these walls would be broken. The city would be looted, churches would be stripped, and Christian soldiers would do more damage to Constantinople than any foreign enemy had in centuries. This moment would permanently weaken one of the greatest empires in history and divide Christianity in ways that would never fully heal. And it all began with decisions that seemed reasonable at the time. To understand how shocking this moment was, you need to understand what Constantinople meant. Constantinople was not just another medieval city. For nearly 900 years, it had been one of the most important cities in the world. It was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, the eastern half of the Roman Empire. While Rome in the west had fallen centuries earlier, Constantinople was still standing. Its emperors ruled as Roman emperors. Its laws came from Roman law. Its churches shaped Christianity across the Eastern world. The city was enormous for its time. Its walls were massive. Its streets were crowded. Its harbors were full of ships. Gold flowed through the city. Trade connected Europe and Asia. Churches were filled with religious treasures, manuscripts, and works of art collected over centuries. To people in Western Europe, Constantinople seemed impossibly rich. It was Christian, but not the same kind of Christian. It followed Eastern Orthodox Christianity, not the Catholic Church. It spoke Greek, not Latin. It was admired, envied, and deeply misunderstood. And now a Christian army from Western Europe was standing outside its walls. But this army had not come here on purpose. They were part of the Fourth Crusade, a crusade that was supposed to reach the Holy Land and fight Muslim armies. Constantinople was never meant to be part of the journey. If this army was not supposed to be here, how did it end up preparing to destroy the greatest Christian city on earth? The answer begins with money. The Crusaders needed ships to cross the sea, so they turned to Venice. Venice was the greatest naval power in Europe. It could build fleets faster than anyone else. Venice agreed to help, but the price was enormous. When the Crusaders gathered in Venice in 1202, they realized too late that they could not pay. The army was short by a massive amount. There was no backup plan, no easy solution. This was the moment when the crusade began to lose control. Venice offered a deal. The debt would not disappear, but it could be delayed. In return, the Crusaders would help Venice capture a nearby city. That city was Zara. Zara was a Christian city. It was ruled by Christians, and it was under the protection of the Pope. The Pope ordered the Crusaders not to attack. They attacked anyway. This decision changed everything. It was the first time the crusade turned its weapons on fellow Christians, and nothing stopped them. The debt was postponed. The army stayed together. And the punishment was minimal. A dangerous lesson was learned. Rules could be bent. Orders could be ignored. As long as the crusade continued, soon another offer appeared, one that promised far more and led directly to Constantinople. Not long after the attack on Zara, a new figure entered the story. A young Byzantine prince, recently overthrown, recently exiled, and desperate to regain power. He approached the leaders of the crusade with an offer. If they helped him take back the throne of Constantinople, he would give them enormous amounts of money. He would supply them with soldiers. And he would bring the Byzantine Church under the authority of Rome. For the Crusaders, this seemed like a solution to everything. Their debt would be paid. Their army would be supplied. Their mission would regain meaning. So the direction of the crusade changed again. In the summer of 1203, the Crusader fleet appeared before Constantinople. This time they did not come to conquer. They came to interfere. The city was stunned. Foreign soldiers filled the harbour. Latin banners stood before the walls. After fighting and pressure, the prince was placed on the throne, but the victory was an illusion. The empire had no money. The promises could not be kept. Taxes were raised. Church treasures were seized. Anger spread through the city. The people blamed the prince. They blamed the foreign soldiers. They blamed the Crusaders. Riots broke out. Fires spread. Hatred grew. Within months, the prince lost control. He was arrested and then killed. Suddenly, the Crusaders were left outside the city. They were unpaid. They were unwanted. And the man who had promised them everything was gone. At this moment, the situation could still have ended. The Crusaders could have left. The city could have survived. Instead, another decision was made. The leaders of the crusade chose force. From this point forward, there was no negotiation, no agreement, no way back. In April of 1204, the assault began. The walls were breached. The defenders collapsed. The emperor fled. Constantinople fell. What followed lasted 3 days. Crusader accounts describe it openly. Byzantine accounts describe shock and disbelief. Churches were looted, religious relics were taken west. Palaces were stripped of gold and art. Manuscripts were destroyed or scattered. Works from ancient times were lost forever. This was not random chaos. It was organized looting. A Byzantine official who witnessed the sack wrote that the city suffered more at the hands of fellow Christians than it ever had from enemies of another faith. The shock was real. After the sack, the Crusaders created a new state called the Latin Empire. It was weak. It lacked legitimacy. It survived only with outside support. The Byzantine world shattered into fragments. Although Constantinople would later be retaken, the damage was permanent. The empire was poorer. Its defenses were weaker. Its authority was broken. Most historians agree on one thing. Without the events of 1204, Byzantium might have survived far longer, and something deeper was broken as well. The divide between Eastern Orthodox and Western Catholic Christianity hardened into lasting hostility. Trust was destroyed. Resentment remained. The crusade, meant to defend Christianity, helped tear it apart. The sack of Constantinople did not begin with violence. It began with debt, with compromise, with decisions explained as temporary, step by step, line by line, until there was no way to stop. When people believe they are acting for a higher cause, how do they recognize the moment when they stop serving it and begin destroying everything it was meant to protect? If you want to follow more true stories from history, told with clarity, depth, and honesty, subscribe to our channel and stay with us as we explore the moments that changed the world